Good afternoon, warriors from Malaysia, and good morning in Dubai.
Very good morning to you all. How are you guys doing?
You want to speak your language?
You want me to do my language? Okay. Salam, marhaba, namaste, sat sri akal, and more importantly today, selamat pagi.
Selamat petang.
Selamat petang. I hope all of you are safe, all of you are indoors, and all of you are enjoying the MCO and lockdown and curfew scenario. But like me and Mandy just witnessed today in the morning, we had an absolutely amazing session online. Digital is the way forward for a lot of people in a lot of different industries, and that is precisely the reason why we are coming together online on Facebook, hopefully properly. But me and Mandy are still learning our way through the digital jungle. And the idea was basically to give across some relevant information about what's been going on this side of the planet, which is the Middle East and specifically Dubai. Mandy, if you allow me, shall I start off with the actual presentation?
No, you probably need to spare another two minutes because normally people will come in.
Up. All right,
yes.
Yeah, I'm getting used to the Facebook scenario. Okay. Fine. You have any question that you were asking to me earlier on? Please go ahead. We can have a little bit of discussion on that. Okay, welcome, Cambodia. That's awesome. See, this is the benefit, and the good thing is, one, we have this global platform, and thanks to Mandy, who is the head of international sales, she manages to rope in many different agents and groups under the IQI banner from different cities and different countries from around the world. I can see Madam Jamie Wei Ni Hao. Wow, she's giving me the $1 million smile. How are you, boss? So that's the thing, that we're getting a lot of people online now for us to start off with the presentation. And at the same time, I'll try and keep a very quick look. Fine. Do you have any questions? I'll try and keep a look on the Facebook side so we can figure out exactly what's been going on. All right. And now I'm back to talking, I hope. Guys, since most of you are coming on board, if you'll allow me, I will quickly share a very quick silent video about Dubai. This has been officially approved by Madam Mandy. So if anything goes wrong, blame her, not me. At the same time, like Mandy was saying, today's session is basically going to be a very quick and walkthrough of two particular developers that are quite prominent and quite visible in the city of Dubai. In fact, during the last trip where most of the country heads and I believe Mandy and a couple of other people from IQI had converged onto Dubai, we had taken some time out to go and visit a couple of the projects. I believe Mandy will know at least one of them, if not both of them. The idea was to again bring it to you. There are a lot of changes that have happened because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And the developers in Dubai are obviously very proactive and progressive. They know a lot of people around the globe at one point of time will be looking at some sort of feasible investment options. And subsequently, this is the reason that we will be sharing this slide with you now to give you an information on exactly how the market is going to be behaving from now onwards. Okay, if this is going to allow me, I'll share very quickly. Mandy, just guide me if the screen is on and you can see the slide, please.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so the topic for today is obviously Dubai market updates and a couple of project briefings. So I will quickly dive directly onto the topic, which is how the market behaving currently due to the COVID-19 virus. Now, if you haven't heard till now, I'll again update you all that Dubai has formally requested the Expo 2020 governing body for new dates, which are effectively going to be from October 1st, 2021 to March 31st, 2022. This is still being considered, and most likely we will be hearing a news on that sometime in the near future. But at the same time, Dubai has requested to keep on using the same Expo 2020 Dubai official name for the event. Now, with this proposed extension for the Expo, obviously it means that a lot of developers who had a deadline to meet in terms of delivering their projects and handing it across to the buyers and handing it across to people who were interested to buy ready properties, they will now have a little bit of more time to complete those deadlines. And then at the same time, I'm sure because of the scenario that everybody's facing, so this is going to turn into a very unique uh, opportunity for new buyers who are going to be coming into the city of Dubai. At the same time, the UAE Central Bank has injected approximately dirhams or ringgit Malaysia, about 100 million dirhams uh, as a stimulus offer specifically to the real estate business in Dubai particularly. Three main points which are all related to banking or to mortgage financing. The first one is that there is an increase in the loan to value ratio, which is LTV ratio, which will be applicable to people who are taking a mortgage for the first time. It has been increased from 75% to 80%. So essentially, the bank is going to be financing you for 80% of the property value. And that is subjective to the property being below dirhams 5 million. And if the property is above dirhams 5 million, then the mortgage loan to value ratio has increased from 65 to 70%. Dirhams 5 million to ringgit Malaysia 5 million, I believe, is somewhere about US dollar 1.3 odd, 1.3 million to be exact. The second point is essentially is that there is an increase in the maximum off-plan loan to value ratio, meaning to say that if you have picked up an off-plan property or an under construction property and you have, let's assume $1 million is the price of the property, so you will now pay up to 55%. The 55% will be paid off from the banking sector, from whichever particular bank you are going to select, and the remaining amount is going to be paid off from your own particular reserves. At the same time, the banks have raised their maximum exposure to the real estate market it's gone from 20% to 30%. So basically, it's underlining that the banks are going to be endorsing and supporting the real estate sector all the more during this time. So it gives a lot of reassurance to people who are not only going to be repeat buyers, but who are going to be coming into the country, settling down, and probably looking for good financial options for themselves. Moving on, another aspect, what has happened specifically in Dubai, we have seen it all over the globe actually, that we say the human touch had gone out of the real estate transactions, specifically in the UAE because of the COVID-19 virus. So what's happening is that online property platforms and smartphone applications are already filling in the gap, which is coming into place because of social distancing. At the same time, what has happened that because of this pandemic that we are all going through and surviving through it, that this has actually played as a catalyst for everyone to adopt a digital first approach. Meaning human interaction is making way for digital interaction between people. A very fine example is probably what we are doing today online. So what is happening that bringing it down to the minute details, even properties which we are working in now in Dubai, if we have prospective renters who are wanting to look at a property, we can give them virtual tours of each listing and let them literally visit the house using their smartphone open up digital locks, even to the extent that they can submit paperwork and pay the rent online. So the whole process end to end is now actually digitized in Dubai. We have got property apps which are providing renters with a compelling and a safe way to find new homes. And the same is going to be applying for people who are looking for buying and selling. Uh, Essentially, this is something which IQI Global is doing already very amazingly. And this is the reason why we are proving to be successful brokers, not just in Malaysia or in Southeast Asia, but also all across the globe, that we are adopting this technology to move ahead. And at the same time, because we believe that in every challenge, there is an opportunity that comes across, we should be smart enough and brave enough to take up that challenge and obviously benefit from that opportunity. So digital is the way forward. This is the first project update which I'm putting in front of you. The developer, which is known as MAG. Maybe if you recall, we were there for a presentation with them. And then what basically MAG is that you can see it on the slide, I hope. It's got a fantastic vision that wants to be at the forefront of the region's property industry because of its dedication, innovation, and continuous deliverance. Till date, this particular developer has delivered at least 10 projects already, and there is another prospect of about 3 more which are in the pipeline. So you are seeing point number 1, number 2, MAG 214, MAG 218. These are the names of the building. They are in a very prime area known as Jumeirah Lake Towers. Then you have Polo Residence, Polo Townhouses. Both of these are ready properties and they are available in the downtown or near to the downtown area. Then you have a project called MAG 5, which has been delivered in Abu Dhabi, and at the same time in an area called Dubai South, which is actually very near to the Expo site. So this is a very prime area that a lot of people have been investing in because it's very close to the Expo, and then at the same time it is very close to the new airport which is being built up by the Dubai. Number 7, number 8 essentially are in an area. One is called the Furjan, it is the estate. The other one is called Emirates Financial Tower. It is an iconic building in DIFC, which is the Dubai Investment Financial Hub. And then they have also delivered warehouses and villas communities. So all in all, the developer is having a very diverse and successful portfolio all across the Emirates of UAE. But its major prominence is in Dubai. This is a map that I have put on the screen. If I take the mouse around, you may or may not be able to see the big location map that you're seeing is the latest building, which is, in my opinion, almost 90% complete. It is called MBL Residence. In the same vicinity, the developer already has 2 projects which have been delivered, which is, as we just saw, MAG 218, 214. The skyline, if you can see in front of me, there is the Atlantis Hotel, which is on the Palm, which is a completely man-made area. Then there is the Burj Al Arab, the only 7-star hotel in the whole world. At the same time, you have the iconic Burj Khalifa, which is in the downtown area and very close to the MAG 318 property and the MAG Polo Residences and Polo Townhouses. So this shows that the developer has got a very good landmass all across the city of Dubai, and they are very strategic in choosing the locations and then delivering the particular project on time to people who invest with them. Max City Apartments, if you can see, I'll give you a very quick synopsis. The selling price for this particular property, a studio, which will have a size of about 420 square footage, is in dirhams or ringgit Malaysia, 565,000, which is equivalent to US dollars 154,000 as a round figure. This project is under construction and the handover is slated for Q3 2022. We have an option of either a studio or even a bigger unit, which will which will be a one-bedroom apartment. The one-bedroom apartment, the size will range anywhere from 756 square footage to 900 approximate square feet. The price range again is about, in dirhams, 888,000, which if you convert it into US dollars will be about 242,000 US dollars. The biggest plus point on this is what I'm going to mention now is the payment plan. As this is a property which is under construction, so the developer has given a 2.5 years payment plan which is under construction or linked to the construction, and then after the property has been handed over, you can continue paying and basically move into the property or give the property out on rent. On the left side of the screen, if you can see, there is a map which is charting out the whole payment plan. And if the down payment is essentially for 10%, which comes to about 56,500 dirhams, that will be roughly about, you can say, 1,300 US dollars. Once this 10% is paid off, the second installment kicks off, which is about 5%, and then after that, only 1.2% for the remaining time frame. 1.2% essentially in dirhams or ringgit Malaysia is about 6,800 dirhams. In US dollars will be about 1,857 US dollars. If you can see again on the map that the installments are going to go from second installment, third installment, fifth installment, and so on, all the way up to the 31st installment. That is the time when you are going to be having the delivery of the property, which is projected at, assuming 1st November 2022. And once that handover is done, then you start your second installment plan, which is the post-handover plan, which will go for a period of 30 months. Again, the payment that you will be paying is about 1.6%, which is marginally the same. So like I said, again, if you take a simple studio with an average price of about dirhams or ringgit Malaysia, 565,000. So this is how the whole payment plan is going to be structured. Mandy, you can see that? Anything?
No, it's okay.
If you want to ask me on a particular payment plan as of now, I can take a break and let you know.
No, go ahead.
All right. So we go ahead, and after this, what I'll do is, to all the people who are with me, I'm going to take a quick exit from here.
Okay, give me a minute first. Guys,
yes.
Do you have any questions with regards to the installment plan? Are you very clear with that? So basically, it's just an installment plan whereby they provide the installment payment from the constructions period all the way to post constructions. That means even after completed, you can actually still serving the installments, whereby you can rent out the units or you can actually stay in. All right, so any question on that? I think it's actually pretty straightforward. And when it comes to buying costs, there's nothing much. It's only the 4%.
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, there's no stamp duties, no legal fees, nothing. Just the transfer fees of the 4%. It's very straightforward.
It's 4%, and then a basic amount of, let's say, round figure 5,000, which gets paid to the land department again. That's like a processing fee, and that's it.
Okay, you can proceed with that.
All right, great. Okay. What I'll do is I'll very quickly show you a video for this particular project. I'll put the audio on. Hopefully, if you can see it, or you'll be able to enjoy it a bit more. Please guide me if you can see it. Can you hear the audio?
Nope.
Okay,
Bit
fine. Then
soft.
I'll do the talking. So this is a 3D map which is showing the project of MAG and then the other projects which are in the area of Maidan. It's gonna move a little fast. So this is gonna go and show you the, if you can see Polo Residence, Polo Townhouses, these are the projects which are ready. And the MAG I or the MAG City, the one we just saw, the pricing terms. And this is what the renderings are looking like and what it will look like to you because it's very close to the downtown area. So these are the rendering for the building which are coming up, and they are in a triangular fashion. Along with that, they have a townhouse community, which you can see now, which is at the back of the building. So it's a mixed community where you will have apartments and townhouses and schools and play areas and parks. It's going to be a fully sustained community. I think not more than 10 to 15 minutes drive from downtown Dubai or from Burj Khalifa, Dubai. This is how the layout is. You see a mosque at the beginning, and then you move on forward. You will have all the other living amenities available to you. Now the trend is basically the developers who have a good reputation or record in the market, they are now moving ahead and delivering on communities rather than singular buildings, because this is what mostly a lot of foreign buyers are looking at, that when they go and select a particular property, unless it's for a specific reason that they will go and choose a particular building, maybe because of a budget concern or a specific location or some other personal reasons. Generically, what happens that buyers would like to go and move into a community where they can not only live, the family can also move about, enjoy the community living, the park, the activities, and so on. So this is just a small demonstration of what this whole project is consisting of. You've got a skytop pool, and then you've got the retail section at the bottom. This is again a rendering, but by and large, whatever is being shown here is what is going to be delivered. This is the nighttime view of the city of Dubai. So the idea here is again that you can get a very clear picture of what it is going to be looking like in terms of finishing and as a community. Okay, I'll move back very quickly to the actual presentation. All right, Mandy, you can see the project now again?
Yes.
Okay, guys, this one is the second project that we are discussing. The developer, if you can see on the screen, is called Shobha, or Shobha Heartland to be precise. Shobha Heartland, again, their project is also in MBR city, which is very, very close to downtown area. This particular developer, again, have a number of variety of projects. The one that we are going to be talking about very briefly over here is called the Shobha Creek Vista, which is a 28th floor twin tower residential building. It's basically designed to give you fantastic views of some of Dubai's most beautiful destinations, specifically the Dubai Creek, the Ras Al Khor Wildlife Sanctuary, downtown Dubai, and the Dubai Water Canal. So all of these destinations are going to be accessible and visible to you from these particular buildings because it's right in that strategic location. Now, the Shobha Creek Vista is featuring basically 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. And in these apartments, you will be having built-in wardrobe, a lot of balcony space, floor to ceiling windows. Obviously, you get fantastic views of the city from there, and a lot of state-of-the-art facilities. Now, this is set within a thriving community, which is already offering you schools, entertainment, and leisure and exercise areas. So again, the idea is that this is a community where you will be fully self-sustained. Now, this is the location for the project. If you can see the red markation here, this is called Heartland Greens. And just next to it is Shobha Creek Vista, also marked in 2 red perpendicular buildings. These are the projects. Then again, the yellow line indicates the whole community which is being developed by this particular developer. If you can see a little bit on the top, this is the distance from the iconic downtown Dubai or Burj Khalifa to this place. This is on your left side of the screen. If you can see the Maidan Race Course, this is where you get the most expensive and most well-known horse racing track. And we have celebrities from around the world who come here and they take part and they see all uh, the latest races which happen here once a year. And the most important thing is if you can see all of this green track where I'm putting the mouse on, what the government of Dubai has done that it has cut through a canal right in between the city, which is connecting to the sea, and then the water flows on down all the way towards either downtown or towards this whole project itself. So it's partially man-made. It's pretty much done. Even if you fly down to Dubai, whenever the situation allows, you will be able to see it that it is absolutely functional. Now, if you can see the photos on your right, I'll be giving a very quick 3D tour as well. For Shobha Heartland, basic thing is if you are going to be paying dirhams 4,110, or let's say same in Ringgit Malaysia, you can move into the property once it is ready in the coming year. For a 1 bedroom apartment, the selling price is approximately about 823,000. That is about US dollar 224,000. The square footage is about 500 square footage, and you can obviously choose whether you need a particular side-facing view, either a school community view or a canal view. And now, a 2 bedroom apartment in this particular project is priced at about 1,300,000, which is in US dollars about 355,000 US dollars. The size is about 803 square footage. This is what we call built-up area or carpet area or usable area. So all of this is the actual size which you will be utilizing. Again, you can get downtown views for this particular unit, subject to availability. I'm quickly showing you a sample of how the installment works, assuming you take a studio for about 820,000. So you will be getting the Dubai Land Department fees, which is costing about 32,900 odd. Then you have the administration fees, which is again about 5,000, about 1,400 US dollars. And on the left of your screen, you can see the installments, which is being mentioned. So basically 10% as a booking amount, which you pay to the developer. And then along with that, the installments start getting mobilized 90 days from booking date, and then another 10% on completion of a particular slab, then another 10%, which is completion of a particular stage. Once you have reached the completion of the whole structure, you would have paid roughly the full price. This is the tour that I wanted to show to all of you. Now this one is in 3D, so it would be, I'm sure you've seen it all before, but again, very, very interesting to look at. This is the 2-bedroom apartment which you're seeing right now. This 3D tour essentially is going to be starting from the living room, which has an open kitchen. If you pan towards the right, you will see the kitchen in front of you, along with the living and dining area. And when you move a little bit forward, this is what the view is going to be. That is the main door that you're looking at, along with the guest washroom onto your right. If you move on towards the left, you are now facing, as you can see, 2 bedrooms, which is to the right and which is to the left. This is the master bedroom, which we are in right now. It has a walk-in wardrobe and at the same time a lavatory area, your balcony, which is going to be there on the right side. And when you walk out directly, you can move in towards the second room, which is again with an independent washroom facilities. So this is the way the apartments are generically built up over here. Okay. I hope you guys are with me. We finished with the 3D tour. Now, I'm pretty much wrapping up. So what I would like to repeat is what I'm putting on the screen. History always repeats itself. I've been in this country for almost 20 years now. I've seen a lot of ups and downs. So what I'm basically going to put across to you is that 10 years ago, there was a sudden global market crash. And in Dubai, prices have actually been correcting from time to time for several years. And at the same time, uh, I have witnessed it. I've seen it with my own eyes. Fortunes have been made by various investors, particularly those who bought in 2006 and then sold off in 2008, or they bought in 2011 and then they sold off again in 2014. So it's essentially a cycle which will always come about. The investors who are smart and who know of these cycles, who are quite sagacious in the way they select properties, they will always know when is the right time to buy and when is the right time to exit. Obviously, the local expert on ground, that's where IQI comes into place in whichever city you're sitting in. We will always be there to assist you and guide you and help you to grow your portfolio. So as we always say, the right time to buy is now rather than sit and wait. So thank you all very much for your time. I'm going to stop the screen sharing. My God, Jamie is still here. Lovely to see you.
Guys, any questions with regards to this project? Okay, Omar, can you briefly explain again for the Shoba one, the payment term, the
Yes,
installment plan is actually for how long?
1 second. Are you? No, I'm not sharing the screen now anymore. I think I'll skip with that. See, the payment plan is going to be. This is not a post handover payment plan with Sobha. The one from MAG is a post handover payment plan. The one from Sobha is not. So you're generally going to be paying the installments during the construction frame, during the construction time of the project.
Okay, based on the current situations, I believe that local actually provides some financing as well, right?
Yes, it does. Yes.
So it provides financing to foreigner with regards to any countries? What about Brunei? What about Cambodia side?
See, Dubai is a very, very cosmopolitan city. So you will obviously be having a much more aggressive approach and a much more broader approach to accepting financing options for people who are living in different sectors of the globe. Obviously, central bank regulations do follow the regulation which are set across by the international monetary bodies. So keeping that in mind, apart from that, rather, anybody who's coming in Cambodia, Thailand, Australia, India, Pakistan, Canada, wherever, as long as they set up documentation, which is a very simple set of documentation, matches the guideline which your bank needs, they will be happy to finance you. Generically, the financing amount is close to about 50% of the property value. So for an understanding, if any client is looking at a property which is worth about 1 million US dollars, subjective to that person filling the criteria, whether it's an employed person or a self-employed person, you can get up to 50% financing, even if you're not within the country.
What about the interest rate?
That will range anywhere from, I think, okay, it's not going to be a salary transfer, so maybe close to about, I think, 6%, 4.8 to 6.2% in my opinion.
So, and the tenure we'll be talking about, like, according to your age?
Yes, the age is a factor, but we can look at easily about maybe 10 to 15 years, if not more.
Okay. So guys, any more questions? Okay, basically, do the projects come with the rental guarantee?
There are some projects which are available to us in IQI Dubai, which are with rental guarantees. It all depends on what the investor is looking at. If you're looking at a project which is coming with a rental guarantee, that is available on offer. If you're looking at a particular project because you like the location or you like the finishing or you like the pricing, but you would like to have rental returns on it, again, IQI has a local presence here. We have been doing this for a number of years. So we take over the property for you, we rent it out, and we ensure that you get good rental return. So in either case, that can be sorted out.
What about the property management side?
Again, property management is something which we can do, but majority of the time it's been done by experts who are there on ground. We have a lot of local contacts who obviously do this professionally on a day-to-day basis. We can always connect the investors or the buyers with them directly, and they can take care of the property. If they want to go into short-term leasing, if they want to go into holiday homes, that also is very easily possible.
Okay, the other thing that I think investor will be very curious to know is that what is the rental yield and the capital appreciations in Dubai? Can you enlighten us on this?
See, basically, again, I know a lot of people do their assessment that basically comes across because of media. What I just said in my last slide, your entry point at a particular time in the market determines how much of benefit you can draw out from a property. The rental returns in Dubai generically have always been minimum 6% all the way up to 12%, even 15%. There is no other market on in the whole globe which gives you that much of a return. So it all depends on how you are able to factor out what is my return going to be in numerical numbers. If you're looking at buying into a property when the market is slow, and then automatically when the cycle moves up, your capital appreciation can go maybe double, or if not double, probably easily about 15% or 30%, even 40%. So that essentially means how are you going to enter into the market and with what objective.
So do you think that this is the best time to go into Dubai?
A lot of people always, when we as real estate experts say, they feel that if we are pushing the button for it, but basically we've seen this, or rather I've seen it for quite some time. Once you've made a purchase, hopefully at the right time, yes, when you've made the purchase, you will definitely have the benefit from it. And history, like always says, the best time to buy a property is just when the cycle is about to go up again. Nowadays, yes, the market is at a standstill. People are just waiting to see what is going to happen. I was reading the report from July.com also that there's a lot of mobility happening in mainland China. Mainland China has seen a lot of buyers moving into Dubai for the last almost 1 year. In fact, I will share a report with all of you, which was just published, I think, yesterday, that even in the month of January, December, January, and February, if I'm not mistaken, Dubai has registered quite a high number of sales. And majority of these sales have been people who have been coming in from South Asia or mainland China, and they're looking to invest into Dubai.
All right, and I'm sure everyone will know that the property in Dubai is all freehold.
Yes, it is. You have majority of properties which are freehold. There are some which are also leasehold, but by and large, anybody who's coming here to invest, they prefer a freehold property. Like you mentioned earlier, the process flow is very smooth, extremely straightforward. Uh, right now, it's all digital. You can fly in one day. Let's say you can fly in the night, rest in your hotel in the morning, go to the transaction center, finish your transaction, collect your new title deed or ownership document, and fly out the same evening if you wish. That's how fast the whole process is and how efficient it is.
So for investor like us, Malaysia or Asia, so we need to fly to Dubai to sign the contracts and everything, or it's all by digital that we can actually do it on the paperless?
You can do it online in digital. Like I said, let's say you're going to, I showed you a 3D tour. You can go into minute details of that particular project. You can do the due diligence by sitting with the IQI local expert, be it in Malaysia or Cambodia or Thailand or Australia or Vietnam for that matter. And then when you actually need to sign on the dotted line, and if you are convinced that you are satisfied with the services that are being provided to you, you can simply do the transaction online. Uh, the developer gives you the transaction details, and then you can move ahead with the actual process of obtaining a property. It is advisable that you fly down minimum at least one time so that you can have more transparency in the transaction. You can obviously see physically also what you have purchased and what you are going to be getting. And then at the same time, for your safety, for setting up your account details over here, just for putting the things into place, it's always advisable to come down at least once and spend a couple of days in the city, just so that you know what exactly you will be setting up for yourself.
Okay, so there's actually no restrictions when it comes to resales. There's no any
there is no
minimum
restrictions.
amount. Yes.
There is no capital gain tax, at least not on residential properties. There is no time limit that if you buy the property in the month of January, you cannot sell it in the month of January, or you cannot sell it in the month of June. Once the transaction is completed and it's a ready property, you can sell it off. If it is an off-plan property, you do need to pay up to 40%, and then after that, you are welcome to sell it off.
Even though before it's completed?
Yes, but you have to pay up to 40%.
All right. So guys, are you clear on the procedure and the buying cost and invest in Dubai? Any more questions that you guys want to ask? Feel free to ask now. For those in Facebook, do you have any comment?
I'm just going through that now actually while we are talking. So hopefully, hey Samantha.
So and the Dubai dollars is actually quite similar to our ringgit, so it's actually equivalent as well. Probably like by a few cents difference only. All right, so it's actually very straightforward.
That it is, yes. See, I'm sure a lot of people would have probably witnessed it. Dubai is excellent as a brand globally. They are very good at what they do. If, just for the sake of understanding, if I'll put it into perspective, Dubai is the Singapore of the Middle East. So the way people from Asia converge on to Singapore or maybe even Hong Kong, that's how Dubai attracts the rest of the countries from around the globe. In fact, surprisingly, a lot of people from Hong Kong are actually also buying into Dubai for the last 6-7 months.
Yeah, you for those that who haven't been to Dubai before, you'll be amazed that in fact there's lots of Chinese in Dubai.
It's going to grow also in the next 2 years, a lot.
And they do have a Chinatown in Dubai as well.
3 now. They started off with 1, now they've moved on to 3 in 3 different vicinities. That's how fast the growth is.
Okay, any more questions, guys? If not, we will probably end here. So any informations, you can actually contact Omer or contact myself or our core teams to get more informations.
Whatever slides I've presented, they're already there with Mandy. You can always go through them again in detail if you like. Should you ever need any particular extra information, like she said, we're available 24/7, I guess, Mandy.
Yep, 24/7.
So we will be happy to help you out with whatever questions you have, or even if you're sitting with a client. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because we're live. So me and Mandy have already experienced a lot of queries coming in when agents are sitting with the individual clients. They want to sit, do a lot of con calls even. So not a problem, as long as we are able to set up the time zones. It's absolutely not an issue. We'll be more than happy to help you out.
Okay, so if no more questions, we shall end here. Thank you very much. Thank you, Omer, for giving us such a informative insight on Dubai markets. I hope that will actually help you guys to broaden your knowledge as to how to invest in Dubai. In fact, investment in Dubai is not that difficult after all, and it provide good rental yield, all right, and very straightforward buying process. All right. So thank you very much. I hope everybody's take care.